Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of BS Drunk Movie Reviews Season 3. This is a weekly podcast, and we do upload a video version to our YouTube channel, so you can check that out. My name is Vetta, and as always, I am joined by my brother, Matt.
Hi, you guys.
And this month's theme is still pandemic movies, and on this episode, we will be talking about Carriers.
Which is so much fun.
Yeah. So before we get started, what are you drinking?
Oh, I am drinking again because I felt like I was going to change it up, to a bloody mess, whatever that is, whatever these people are. But I was just like, this is actually kind of like COVID also, but just, grosser. So I'm drinking a COVID-19, which I've already got started in on because they're delicious.
Yeah.
And that's just a vanilla vodka, pineapple juice, and coconut rum.
Nice. So I am drinking a quarantine.
Look at you.
It's a lemonade, a little elderberry syrup, some gin, and some honey, and then grenadine. And then I didn't do this part, but the recipe said you should have like a little shot glass of lemon zest and juice, like do in a shot glass as a chaser. And I was like, I don't do chasers. Chasers are bullshit.
Yeah, chasers are for pussies.
Right? They're like training wheels. You don't need that shit.
Yeah.
and it's tasty. I don't understand what that, maybe it makes it taste better. I don't know. I didn't do it.
Right on.
So had you seen this movie before I chose?
I had not.
So did you watch the trailer?
I did.
What did you think when you saw the trailer?
Well, so in the trailer, there's this little girl, and I was like, oh, another where they're killing kids movie. Great, perfect, excellent. Nothing makes me sadder. Anyways. This movie wasn't too bad, but it was way too fucking real. I'll tell you that. So what about you? Had you seen this movie?
I had already seen this. I have a child who gets into these theme situations where she wants to watch every movie. She loves natural disaster movies, shark movies, and pandemic-esque movies.
I feel you.
Just depends on the mood. Those are the themes we've gone throughout her life. And because of that, I've seen all the Sharknadoes. So if you need advice on...
Ooh, me too. They're great. I love those movies. We should do those.
We watched every single one of them the day it came out. Like,
oh yeah.
Oh, you remember when we were kids and we used to make the big pallets to watch movies and stuff? That's what we did for those because she was all for it.
Yeah, no, maybe season 4 we can do the new Sharknado series. What is there like 15 maybe we'll of them now?
Franchises.
that'll be our whole season. Sharknado. Well, you guys, another Sharknado movie, Sharknado 15.
And while we were making this podcast, another one dropped.
Yeah, another one dropped. So next week.
Yeah, right. All right. So, can I first start out with the simple rules?
Oh my God, I was just about to say that. Let's go over the rules.
Do it. I like when you do that stuff better, but the narration part was one of the parts that kind of annoyed me. But when he went over the rules, I was like, oh.
Yeah, I like rules.
Tell us the simple rules.
Oh, it's okay. So rule number 1, avoid affected at all cost. And I was like, ooh, that's a good rule. They are
common sense. Common sense.
Yeah, they're gross. They look gross. Nobody wants to hang out with them.
And rule number 2.
Yeah. Rule number 2, disinfect anything that they have touched within the last 24 hours. I was like, that should be a common rule for everybody, even without them being infected.
I'm like, so far we have social distancing and we have sanitized everything.
yeah, clean stuff you don't need a pandemic for. And then the third one is the sick are already dead and they can't be saved. And I was like, oh, no, way to bum me out, fuckers.
Right? I was like, man, that's aggressive.
Yeah, right. Like,
Aggressive.
when we get to the little girl part that I talked about before, we're gonna have to chat about that because that shit was sad. I was like, oh, that's sad.
So sad. The whole school situation was sad.
Oh yeah, for sure. I wrote down my first thing I wrote down as soon as they came up on Christopher Maloney, I would have just went around him. I was just like, I wouldn't even stop the car.
That's what I mean. Why did they even slow down? And why
did he stop the car? Because he had to restart it, and that's when he was all like,
he wasn't wasting gas. I'm assuming because
yeah, but still, me, I wouldn't even have stopped. I would have just like slowed down to a crawl to get around.
Because that's my whole thing. They knew they weren't going to help them. They knew they weren't going to let them ride in the car. They weren't giving them anything because there's a possibility of infection. So why did you stop? And then when he gunned it, because the guy had the wrench, you didn't think when he had his arm behind him as he was approaching the car that he didn't have something? I mean, they were lucky it was just a wrench and not a gun. And then he was such a terrible, I can't just go around. He gunned it and hit shit and broke their car.
Yeah, exactly.
And then had to go back and beg, what was his name? Frank?
I just read Christopher Maloney from Law and Order.
Yeah, Frank.
Who's got a juicy ass.
They had to ask Frank for a ride. Well, they had to steal his car, pretty much hijack him.
Oh, so, yeah.
And what did you think of their little makeshift quarantined area?
Oh, please. They were all going to die. I mean, that little girl was one cough away from getting into the air with her duct tape and bullshit. I was like, listen, your saran wrap and duct tape isn't cutting it. I would have been like,
if there are vents in the back, air recirculates.
Oh, can I talk about real quick before they went back and got their car? Okay, so he's just sitting there wasting bullets, shooting at that stupid sign. I'm like, why are you wasting bullets?
Apparently, in this pandemic, there are bullets to spare.
I guess so, but I'm just all like, maybe you're gonna come across some asshole redneck in a 4x4,
or the people that killed the Chinese guy.
That's what I was referring to. Yeah, which we're gonna talk about that in just a second.
Right?
Because, like I said, the shit got way too real too quick.
Well, I was just gonna say, why in every pandemic movie is it the Chinese fault or the Asians' fault?
Yeah, exactly. Well, hold on. Let me get down to that one because now that we're talking about it. It was a little too it was a little too realistic with that shit because during the beginning stages of COVID, a lot of Asians were being beat up and being blamed.
They still are.
And I mean, like, my whole thing was just all like, and again, I want to say this. I said this our last episode. You're not allowed to pick the themes anymore. Your shit's way too real, and too much of a bummer. Because I was all like, this is too soon, asshole. Okay, so no more for you. I make the executive decision.
For me. I have to run all my themes past you first.
Exactly. Denied, hooker.
That's it. I give you veto power. Well, in the future, I won't just pick a theme and then tell you the theme and then look for movies. I will look for the movies to match the theme first and go, see how that works.
Well, yeah, right on. Okay, so
now if I fail that time, then you have all rights. Go, I'll just pick them because you really suck at this.
Right on. So then after, I don't know. I don't remember if this is after. This is after or this is before the Asian guy part, but when they come across that station wagon and they're getting more gas and they come across that dude, I was like, as soon as
alive.
Yeah, as soon as his hand fell, I'd have been like, okay, we're just gonna leave this station wagon, you guys. It's not worth it. It's just not
even that. Go to the other side of the car so you don't have to lean over the dead, sickly body.
Yeah, I mean, he made it and everything, and like, good for you, congratulations. But at the same time, I was like, that was way too scary and too close for comfort, in my opinion.
Yeah, like too much.
Also, I just want to say, and I was on Brian's side this entire time because Brian was straight up like, survival and everything.
Right, because honestly, Brian would have survived if Bobby wouldn't have infected him. Like,
I kept calling her Bunny.
Her name's Bobby, not Pipe.
I'm gonna call her Bunny now.
It's Bobby. But I mean, if she wouldn't have been stupid and infected him, I think he would have went the long haul. But yeah, I'm like you. His rules weren't simple or stupid. They were just common sense.
And it's like so like every time, like him listening to that pastor on the radio was a little annoying because he was all like, put on your spiritual armor and you will defeat this virus. I was like, that's not how it works, coffer McCoffins.
And the guy was like, I was in the stadium building the graves. And I was like, yes, you were. And he was all, and I didn't get it. So I must be one of the chosen or whatever. I'm like, no, because you know what? I bet you were wearing like
gloves and like a hazmat suit and shit.
And they were probably sanitizing the shit out of you. Like, I'm assuming they did the same thing for you. They were doing for first responders and frontline workers and stuff. So it wasn't like you were out there in shorts and a tank top.
Yeah, calm down, Mother Teresa.
Exactly.
You're sitting here making it sound like you're a freaking saint. And I call bullshit just a little bit.
Yeah, he's making it sound like he's bobbing and weaving through blood coughing people.
Yeah, exactly. Like, so, yeah, but I was on Brian's side the whole time because he, like you said, his rules were common sense and he was just keeping it real and shit because he wanted to survive. And I just want to say that it was only Bunny's fault, the reason that he died, because she's a little hooker. Anyways, okay, so I wrote down Bunny is an idiot. I would have let that kid die.
You know it's Bobby, right?
Yeah, I know. I told you I'm going to call her Bunny from now on. What? Besides being blind, are you deaf too?
A little bit. I'm old.
A little bit. I hear you. Ain't that the truth? I'm all the time like, ah. Anyway, so okay.
I swear masks made me hard of hearing.
I
must read people's lips when they speak.
I agree.
Now when they have a mask.
Yeah, me and you are on the same page on that. Like when real quick story off on a tangent, when it was the whole you had to wear masks and everything, I was at work and people would be like, how I'd be like, what? And they'd be like, I was like, I don't know what you're saying. I was like, either you're gonna have to yell at me or you're gonna have to write it down because I can't understand anything you're saying.
Exactly.
Mumble mouth.
People would be talking to me and I would be like, what?
Yeah, I need paired lines. What? I need paired lines. What? I need paired lines. Oh, okay. Thumbs up, and then I just ignore.
You're like walking over there going, all right, I got like a 25% chance to get this right.
I just ignored completely.
Yeah. So then they make up the Jimmy rigged quarantined area of the back of the SUV.
Yeah.
And they pull over for the night.
Yeah. And you got the hillbilly elegy hunting down that little Asian man.
Yes. Yeah. So you've got the people that, they can't just let the virus take people out there hunting them down.
Yeah. Which I wish we would have got a tiny bit more of the backstory to where this, because like I'm all like, why are we blaming the Asian man for this?
Right. And then they tied him to like a windmill or something.
Yeah. And
with what did it say? Brought this.
Yeah, it said a derogatory word towards Asians brought this and everything, and I was like, I saw that, I was all like, and the point of this was you're sending a message to who?
Because he was patient zero. So if you killed him, it stopped. I don't think that's how it works.
Yeah, and I'm all like, who's gonna see your little makeshift sign? Like one person.
The 5 people left.
Yeah, exactly. I was all like, And okay, so when they take Christopher Maloney to that school, I was along with Brian. I was like, why don't you guys leave this school? There's obviously nobody here and everything.
Yeah, I was like, empty. Why would you still go? Yeah.
Yeah. And the outside was completely blank. Everything was just, there was nothing. And the whole time I'm just like, just leave. Just swipe left on this town and everything. But they didn't.
Well, and what did you think of when they get inside the doctor?
Oh, I thought he was okay. So first off, I just want to say he said one line. I didn't write it down.
Sometimes choosing life is just choosing a more painful form of death.
I thought I was like, my home dude's keeping it real. Okay. Because it's very like your rule number 3 is the sick are dead and they can't be saved. So I'm all like, you know what? We might as well just start kicking rocks. Okay. Cause this.
Yeah. And he was given the Kool-Aid with the potassium super amounts to put the kiddos into that forever sleep.
Right on.
Cause he had like 5 little kids in there.
Yeah. I would have, as soon as they walked into that room, they saw little plastic makeshift beds, and I'd be like, hey, I'm out. I'm out, you
Yeah.
guys. I don't want to be here anymore. This is
Well, did you like when
bad.
they were getting ready to go in and they put their tool belts of like
Oh,
sanitary
yeah.
stuff? I was like, wow.
That'll get them. Squirt, squirt.
Right.
um, yeah, I wrote down everybody in this movie makes the worst decisions, aka they all deserve to die. And
Yeah.
but by that I mean like besides Brian, because
Well, he shot the people in the car. That was a terrible decision.
yeah, but he was like, they were at their last ropes and everything, and those women didn't need it, anyways. So
Yeah. So when they're at the school,
which I have thoughts on that. We're gonna get to that in a minute.
yeah, we'll get to that. So I go, the minute Bobby said she would stay with the kid, I knew she was going to get infected.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, and then when the kid started coughing and everything, I was like, you stupid, because she puts the mask on.
Right.
Like, she probably would have been fine because she puts the mask on. But then for some reason, when she crawls back, she takes the mask off.
She takes it off. I'm like, why? Why exactly?
I don't understand that. And I thought, okay, is she going to put it back on? What is she doing? And then when the girl coughs, she acts all shocked. And I went, she was coughing the whole car ride.
Exactly. I was in the same boat.
You took your mask off.
Yes, I was in the same boat. I was like, why are you, what's going on here? You guys have played it straight this whole time. And now this, because it's a little kid, you're going to be all dumb and stuff. I'm like, this is ridiculous.
Why did you put gloves on then? Just go full on if that's the way you're going to be.
You might as well have like licked the blood off of her lip, you little weirdo.
Right. And then, she obviously gets coughed on with the blood and it's all over her. And then when they start having to stop after they ditch the dad and the daughter, because the daughter's got to use the little girl's room.
Right.
And when he makes her walk, because Frank knows exactly that they're going to leave while she's going to the bathroom. And he's like, can you be a big girl and go by yourself? And I'll be waiting right here. And she makes it like 3 steps. And the actress is adorable, but does the worst fake fall I've ever seen.
Right.
But
that's totally true.
You were like, she's taken the steps. And I'm like, oh, that's heartbreaking.
Yeah, for sure.
So, and then the fact that they stop to scrub everything out and Bobby's scooting the jacket, I'm like, is no one going to turn around or see that? Did they not check their mirrors anymore? Like, all of a sudden there's something in the road. Yeah.
Right on.
Just stupid.
Yeah, it's so stupid. And then when he like is walking away and they're like the itsy bitsy spider, and I was like, oh, this is sad. And then he stops to hear him like driving away, and I'm all like, oh, that's sad. Although they didn't show like the end result of like what happened to him, because like, did he die and then like his daughter was not like his daughter died, but then did he go on living?
I don't know. They never carry on for his story.
Exactly. That's the thing. I was all like, oh, they should have definitely tried to like maybe show us what happened there.
Oh, for sure.
Okay. I wrote down.
Okay.
So after that, I jump hardcore to the makeshift hazmat suit guys.
Oh, in
the golf
hotel.
Course.
Yeah, the hotel. So don't you think their first flaw was not looking through the whole place?
The 4 kids?
Yeah, when they go to the very first thing, because they would have found that people were living there.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, besides, and would you have hung out when you found the dead body in the pool?
Yeah, exactly.
I'd be like, guys, time to go. We'll find someplace else to play golf.
Exactly. They just like, okay, so they went through 2 rooms and they found a dead body and they're all like, hey, we can live here and everything, or we can spend the night here. And I'm all like, I don't know, red flags, you guys. I'm like, come on.
Yeah. And if they would have skipped the golf, Brian wouldn't have got infected because he wouldn't have been a dick. And when she was all like, no.
Yeah, which Bunny should have said something. She'd been like, hey, she coughed.
She should have known the minute he was like, are you going to help me up? I was like, okay. Are you that dumb, Bobby?
Yeah, but she should have said something as soon as that little girl coughed on her, because I would have been like,
sure.
Because she was just like, I mean, later on we'll talk about it, but you know, she knew, and I'm all like, come on.
Because when you're running into people every fourth day, you're running into one or two people, you know how deadly this virus is. And didn't they say it was from breathing? So like the cough, you definitely had it if someone blood coughed on you.
Right. Those makeshift hazmat
the factory workers
that
took over and think that they know.
They definitely want a little something, if you get what I'm saying.
Why is that in any pandemic movie, like I can name multiple pandemic movies where every man all of a sudden becomes a rapist. Right? What is that about?
They just wanted to carry on the human species.
No, they were just horny.
And that
invite Rosie Palm and her 5 sisters over.
Oh, well, I'm pretty sure one of them would suck you off. You just got to figure it out.
I mean, it's like jail if you don't see women that often.
Maybe it was Tom. Who knows? I don't know. But I'm just saying.
I think that's why they had him at gunpoint, backing him up into the hotel. They were like, "Oh, now you're our bitch."
Yeah, Tom, you wanna take their side. Now we're gonna take. Well, now take
your knees.
Yeah,
we're gonna show you.
Yeah, we're gonna show you who's boss now here at this factory.
Yeah,
fucker. Do you think that they killed Tom?
I don't know.
I don't think they did. I think that
I don't think so either. I think they were just kind of like, I think Tom was like, I'm sorry, I'm not a rapist.
Right. Yeah, I don't think they killed Tom because there's not enough of them as is. So I think the killing Tom would just lower.
And they lost Larry in the pool. So
yeah, Larry.
Why was Larry in the pool?
I don't know. I'm assuming Larry was all like, I'm dying, so I'm gonna get away from the bill. I don't know, man. I don't know. That's a good question.
Yeah, I just don't know why he was in the pool. So yeah.
Right on. Okay.
I just did that whole part was just kind of, I mean, they were smart because they were on horses rather than cars because you don't need gas for cars. But yeah, that whole part was I could have done without.
Right on. Do you so can we talk about when they kick Bobby out of the car?
Yeah.
Bunny. Okay, so first off, I totally felt like she deserved it. She deserved it 100% because she lied and then she knew.
Yeah, and they all knew it was from the kid, so they all knew.
Yeah. And the whole time after they kick her out and she's crying, she's like, "Don't leave me here." And I'm all like, "Oh, that's so sad and everything." But I was like, "Hey, you deserved it, honey. You did this. Not
I was
me."
like, Kate and Danny, shouldn't you be smarter and go, wait a minute. We've seen Brian like up close and personal with her since that kid. So he's got it. He's got to have it.
Yeah. He's got to have it. You know what I'm saying? Anyways,
have it.
Yeah. Do you wonder what happened to her? Like, did she walk to that town and find a nice soft bed and a blanket and everything? Or do you think she just like died?
No, I think she walked to the town.
Right on. Because the whole time
I think she just gave up.
Well, at least he's leaving you like some food and water, honey. Because he could have just been like, "F you, bunny," because you screwed me over.
Yeah.
So can we talk about when they come across those lesbians, those Christian lesbians? Okay. He shot that fat lesbian like hardcore. He was just straight up.
He didn't just shoot her once. Yeah. He unloaded on her.
Yeah, he did the side shot and everything. He was just straight up. And then her partner like blasted him. She's like, "You kill my Billie Jean elegy and everything." And she's like, "Pow, pow, pow," and shot him in the leg and everything, which I thought was pretty badass. I like how they were like, "Don't do that." And he's like, "We were just looking for more Christians." And I was like, "Honeybee, you don't have the fish."
I was like, "Oh, you're throwing in a Hail Mary there."
They have the fish. Okay. You don't have the fish.
Yeah. So clearly you're not the same level of Christian because you haven't put the fish on your car.
Right. Exactly. And they, and you paid for it. So yeah, no, I thought that part was fun. And at the same time, I was like, "Oh, he killed those lesbians and they were just, trying to survive."
But the minute he started shooting them, I was like, "Oh, he's gonna get shot.
He's gonna get got." and everything.
Yeah, yeah.
So then they go to that house, right, to look for medicines and everything.
For
It,
medicines, yeah.
and that woman that was like sitting there with the shotgun, I was like, oh, she died not playing around and
Yeah,
everything.
right.
And then, okay, so then when he comes across, I love how he's talking to the dog, but he thinks it's like a person like moving up and down or some shit like that. And everything's like, it's like, I'm not infected and everything. I would have shot that dog like ASAP. I wouldn't even have hesitated. Like he just like straight up, as soon as I opened that
Have
door.
the medicines. I'm not going to bother you while you're eating your owner.
Mhm.
I'm like, dude, just shoot the damn dog. He's going to eat you.
Right. Yeah. And then they like like the whole time I'm just like, as soon as he opened the door and he saw a dog, I was like, shoot it. Shoot it. It's gonna attack you. And of course it attacked him. Like he's like, hey, dummy, I don't feel bad for you. Cause again, everybody's making bad decisions in this movie.
Right. They have rules. None of them can fucking follow the rules.
Exactly. And when they follow, like they have one rule, they'll like break one rule and follow the other two. I'm like, no, always follow all three rules. It's the same thing with those Zombieland movies. When you have your rules, you follow them. If you follow the rules, you survive.
There are reasons for rules. Rules are not just made there to make you do things you don't want to. They're there to survive.
Exactly. And rules aren't meant to be broken when your life is on the line.
I mean,
fuckers.
unless you're Columbus in Zombieland, because he's got 73 rules. So that's
I don't know that they
they're
seem
all
like
good. They're all
good. Yeah, I say follow all of them. Anyways,
I don't know, putting your food in a Ziploc bag to keep it fresher. I mean,
at the end of the world, doesn't that make sense?
I suppose, yes.
Okay. So
and why didn't they take more snowballs? Side note, because I've been drinking.
That's
when they stop at the hostess truck and see it, they only takes one.
Yeah, I would have taken that whole freaking like truck's worth of food. I would have literally packed as many as I possibly could.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, but yeah, no,
all right, back to this movie.
Yeah, back to this movie. So okay, so skipping forward, after he finds out his brother he's got the virus, he's got the sickness, he's down with the sickness. And they set up that little fire and he's like talking to him and stuff. Okay, so I wrote this down. Okay, so he goes, how did we get here? We both know. And I was like, do we though? Do we both know? I mean, maybe they know. I don't know. How did we get here? What's going on here?
Right. How did this start? Because I don't know how you got here. So
and I'm the whole time I'm all like,
me.
Yeah, and they're not explaining it. I was like, what does he mean? We both know how we got here. What are you talking? What?
But and then go ahead.
No, well, and then because I was like trying to think of like when he told the story of his parents and getting the gun and his parents were still alive in the bed and he lied and said they were coming back. And I'm all like, maybe I was like, did I miss something in that part? And I was like, and then I rewound it and I was like, no, I didn't miss anything. I have no idea what he's talking about. I have literally no idea what he's talking about. What were you going to say?
I was going to say, and explain this to me. Why in all of these pandemic movies are they going to somewhere from their childhood?
Oh, I know.
Because in this, they're going to the hotel. In Zombieland, they're going to the amusement park. In one of the other pandemics, they're trying to make it to their cabin. I don't understand.
I wrote Turtle Beach doesn't sound that great. Okay. It doesn't sound that at all.
It sounds too far.
Yeah. So far. And I'm all like, turtle and everything. But I was just like, I don't get it, but whatever. What do I know?
Yeah. So when they abandon the brother, which good for them, because
they shoot him
should have done.
And then they burn him.
Yeah. So what did you think when they arrived to the beach hotel?
Oh, it was a big waste of time. Yeah. It was a big waste. I was like, oh, you wasted your time to go to this place, this shit show.
Like, what did you think you were gonna find?
Exactly. A paradise, apparently.
A Mecca? I mean.
Yeah, exactly. Like, welcome to the beach. Okay. Look, you found the ocean. Yay for you, fuckers.
And you've got your surfboard, but how do you know the virus isn't in the water?
Yeah. It was just it was a convoluted thought process. It was so stupid. I was just like, this is ridiculous.
All right. So what did you think overall? Would you recommend this?
I would say yes, only because it was very like real/realistic of like a
And it had its
virus.
entertaining moments.
Yeah, it was. This is the thing. Compared to some other movies that we watched, at the end of this, I wasn't all like, "Oh, I wasted my time." But at the same time, I was like, "Well, this was kind of a bummer." Although that
Well, and
Chris
this one
Pine,
was
isn't he?
different on the aspect that like their body like starts to show the infection.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that was a good little visual effect, because it's not a zombie one where they're all like, ah.
Oh yeah, I was happy they didn't do zombies. That would have been annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Plus Chris
do you have any
Pine. Hello, thank you, please.
right? Well, you do know that this movie came out, it was filmed before he was on Star Trek, but then it came out afterwards. So
Which
it
is
probably
always,
did so much better because
that's always the best time to do it.
yeah. All right. So do you have anything else you want to add?
I have nothing else to add.
All right. So let's move on to our question portion of the show.
Right on.
What is your question today?
My question for you is, what is, in your opinion, the worst virus in a movie?
Okay, so my favorite virus in a movie, mostly because of the name, is from the movie Maggie with Annabelle Brosnan and Arnold Schwarzenegger. I said it was called Maggie, right?
Yeah, you did.
Okay. It's called the necroambulism virus or something like that. But the whole fact that it starts with necro, I'm like, yeah, that makes me think of necrophilia and like a virus. Does the virus make them sleep with dead people? No.
Gotcha.
That's
I've
very
never
strange.
Yeah. I've never seen that movie, so I don't know what you're talking about.
So it's like the worst.
Right on. Well, hey, listen. I said and it doesn't have a name, but it's from the movie Cabin Fever. It's like this infection flesh-eating virus.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I just remember one time the one scene where the girl flips over and her face is missing, but she's still alive. And I'm like, no, thank you. I'll pass. Hard pass on that one.
I don't need that virus. I'm good. Thanks.
Yeah, exactly. What was your question?
So my question is, because in all of these virus zombie movies, whatever, everyone always seems to be going someplace. Where would you go in the end of a virus pandemic where you're like less than 5% of the world still alive? Where would you go?
I want to be honest with you. What I wrote down is pretty fucking dark. I would just end it. I wouldn't go anywhere. I just end it. I would, my family, end it, and then I would end myself.
You would mist everybody, like at the end of Mist where the guy like kills everybody.
Yeah, I would just, because I'm all like, it would just be really hard, but I just, like my son, he's 4, I'd be like, just turn around, buddy.
You're so dark.
What's the point? It's over. It's done. At that point, I'd be like, listen, we had a good run, but we're done. We're just done. What about you?
I love my house. So wherever I went, I'd want to come back here when there was less than 5% less and kind of board it up and be here. But I would probably do the cliche thing and go to our cabin because it's in the middle of nowhere and it's secluded. So I could kind of sort of maybe make it there. Plus there are cities probably within 20 to 30 minutes in every direction if we needed. So I don't know. I think I would be a good survival in a apocalyptic pandemic, but eventually, shit would go down.
I hear you.
So, all right. Do you have anything else you'd like to add?
I have nothing else.
All right. So thank you guys so much for listening. And if you're listening to us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, please be sure to leave us a 5-star review. Follow us on Twitter at BS Drunk Pod to stay updated. We will also be posting this video to our YouTube channel. So be sure to subscribe to us on YouTube, BS Drunk Movie Reviews. And don't forget the most important part: drink, recap, review, and repeat. Bye.
Bye, you guys.